Welcome to be in the garden. Welcome to be in nature. I trust you're well. I certainly am. I am in front of this hedge here and I need to try to remove some of the ivy that is really growing rampantly above the laurel. So there is a laurel hedge here, but as you can see, it's been incredibly smothered out by the ivy. And so my task today is really to get this ivy under control. And there's nothing wrong with ivy. Of course, there's nothing wrong with ivy. However, the clients here have a perfectly good hedge made of laurel, but it's really been obscured now at the speed at which the ivy is growing and overtaking their hedge. So, thank you for tuning in. This is an ongoing project. There's a lot of work being done in this garden, and there's a lot of work that has already been done in this garden. But what I'm doing today is just trying to get on top of the ivy. See, all the way up to there is ivy, but the not the yew hedge, maybe if I said yew before I meant laurel, that's laurel there, but the ivy is really smothering out this hedge. So here goes. For this, I'm mostly going to use my secateurs. I'm mostly going to be using my secateurs for this job. This is the ivy that's being cut out of the tree. You can see from the thickness of the, let's see if I can put that on camera. You can see just how thick the branches have become. It's as thick as certainly my little finger, if you can get an idea. So this is quite a lot that I'm cutting from above, and there's lots and lots of it, and it really is a prolific plant. It's perfect obviously where you want it to be, as with all plants, but this here is a prolific plant, and it's clearly smothering out the laurel. You can see the small growing leaves of the laurel that they are wanting to grow. They are wanting to grow, but there's such a lack of light in that space where the ivy has absolutely taken over. And so I must bring light back into that space, because the ivy has clearly taken over. This is even more than I had imagined, but progress is being made. It certainly looks very gappy, but really what's going to happen now is that the light is going to flood into that area, and where the laurel is still alive, it's going to allow it to rejuvenate itself and start growing. This is so much ivy, and it really took over. As you can see, it was a prominent plant in that area. I'll take you up the ladder actually. It's just a mesh intertwined, and it has totally smothered out the laurel. And be very mindful that wherever I see laurel, not to trim that back. I simply want to focus on removing any of the ivy and leaving the laurel in situ. Over time, we're really hoping, there's a lot of ivy there as well. In time, I'm hoping that because of the extra light that will be able to come through this area, that the laurel will be able to have an equal chance of fighting back. As often with gardening, it can look a lot worse before it starts looking better. There has been so much that has been removed, and now I have to cut these into smaller pieces so that they can be removed and composted appropriately. There is still a lot more ivy to cut out, and I will come back to doing so. There are parts of the ivy that are so thick they have literally merge themselves onto the trunk of the laurel. In places there's ivy and you can barely separate it from the laurel. So for now, however, I do feel that the extra light that is able to come into this place will allow the laurel to start fighting back. And what I need to do now, at least for the rest of this video, is to clear this area. So I want to say to you, as always, thank you for your support. It is appreciated. Loved. Thank you so much for your support. As always, that thumbs up is so helpful. It definitely helps to generate people coming into my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for those of you who have. Love in the comments. Keep them coming, keep them coming. I've still got probably several hours worth of work to get this all reduced to a size to allow us to take it off site. It will be taken off site, but it will be composted appropriately. But thank you as always, thank you as always. I'll see you in my next video where the project in this garden actually continues. Take care, look after each other. Thank you for helping me build this gardening community.